brand. I've lost, several followers. I've lost some engagement, but I've actually gained so much more. Okay, so let's talk about the difference between femininity and women's empowerment. When I first started my brand, my main focus was women's empowerment because I felt like we needed more support in the women's community. But this was almost 10 years ago. So, and the women's empowerment has actually kind of turned into like a mean girls, you can't sit with us, avoiding accountability. And that's just not what I believe in. So when I focus on femininity, it's more so me focusing on self-care, living in your highest, feminine energy, living a soft life, not being too aggressive, not being defensive all the time, not being argumentative, and accepting accountability, accepting constructive criticism, and overall just trying to improve who you are as a person, as a woman specifically. Also, another thing to note is that when we're talking about living a soft life, it doesn't mean like spending a bunch of money. Okay? I should make a whole separate video on that. This, in a nutshell, that's what's important to me, and that's really what femininity is. Women's empowerment is obviously supporting women, and it's not a terrible thing, but the movement is just not what I support anymore. And that's what my passion is. My passion is really helping women live a better life, and that's not through women's empowerment. It's through work, self-reflection, and dedication. I believe that when you start to work on yourself and become a better person, a better woman, your life will fall in place accordingly. Also, femininity is trying new things, making new friends, building new connections. And I don't always get that vibe from the women's empowerment movement. And there's nothing wrong with the women's empowerment movement. I think it's important to have, the support. It's just not what I'm focusing on anymore. When I started Queening Always, I feel like the world needed that. And now we're off to a better start. And so I feel like I want to focus on something different. It has been a struggle shifting my audience from, kind of being more of like a woman pleaser to going against the grain. I've lost, several followers. I've lost some engagement, but I've actually gained so much more, not only with my following, but in my personal life. I am willing to learn more about this topic, and I'm curious to hear about how others think and feel about it. If you want to contribute to the discussion, please comment so we can talk more about it. But until then, good night.